not forget. Expect us.
This is a message to all supporters, a message to all freedom fighters, to all dissenters, to all forgotten, a call to all intellectuals, to all journalists, a call to all freethinkers, a call for intelligence. This is a call to all poets, a call to the strong and the weak, a call to all young people, to the wise, to the astucious. We want you to join us. We are on the streets of Tokyo, in the skyscrapers of New York, in the lanes of Paris, in the cellars of Munich, on Moscow's icy places, on the cobbled streets of Dublin. This is a call to all people, to the youth. Join us in the fight for freedom of information. Search for us, and you will find us. We are among you. We are you. Everyone you speak with can be a member of Anonymous. We have no leaders, only an orientation. We have no targets, only results. You cannot stop us because we are an idea. We cannot be eliminated because we are invisible. If you try to mock us, we will mock ourselves. If you try to slander us, we will accept the defamation. We are the king's jesters with daggers. We are the dancing bear which tears to pieces the laughing mob. We are anonymous. We are a legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us, just as we expect you.
Of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
And we are live. Welcome to Anonymous Bites Back. Episode, I guess we stopped counting the episode. It is November 19th, 2020. We have a lot to talk about. It's been kind of a crazy week in between the last two shows. And I don't know, especially with that YouTube warning. I don't think it'll affect our YouTube channel, but
Well, they just changed their terms of service. I just read through it. I was like, holy shit.
I don't even know if we can talk about anything anymore without getting our YouTube taken down. So
How many fucking times is YouTube going to change their terms of service before people just ditch it and say, fuck YouTube? Because holy shit, they changed their terms of service 3 times this year.
Does our guest want to talk, or do we just want to talk about our the topics on the back end?
I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay? I'll be right back.
Yeah, so the first thing I will get into the whole YouTube thing. I kind of want to go. I wish we would have contacted Aubrey Cottle and Hot Wheels to get on the show, but I didn't think of it till like 5 minutes ago. But if you guys are QAnon followers, and it's literally a sinking ship. Ron Watkins this week had, or not this week, on the 3rd, he left 8Con as the admin, and then about a week ago, 3 or 4 days ago, Ron Watkins claimed he didn't have a Parler account, where he basically spilled the beans that Jim Watkins was posting as QAnon. And then here's the weird part. So Ron said he didn't do it, and he posted an email of him mailing Parler saying that somebody had cloned his identity and got the account verified. And that's kind of bullshit, because I don't really believe it. And then there was another cybersecurity guy. I really haven't tested this out because I don't have a fucking Parler account, saying that you can have somebody else's name on a verified account and then change it back to somebody else. I don't know. It might be all bullshit, but the Ron Watkins even went so far this week. He was contacted by that right-wing news media, OA, whatever it is. I don't know. It's like the OAN network. Yeah, Trump has been RTing it, and it was the most hilarious shit. So he posted as his title on the newscast had said that he was a voting machine booth expert. Yeah, and then he was a large system analyst. Yeah, I hate to spill the beans about you. You report this down. I don't care. They do have a silent partner. His name is Nick Lim. He is from Vancouver. No, he's from I think it's Seattle, Washington, near the border, somewhere around there. And basically, he just set up a CDN, or basically Cloudflare, for them, and that's really their security. From my understanding on the back end, it's really just VIChan. Frederick Brennan basically modded most of this stuff, and somehow, like, after Freddie left, Ron was the new admin. But like, I don't know. It's me. I poke websites. I like to type shit in, see where there's some. There was obviously some bugs, some really old shit, and I don't know what else to say. It's like if your website has these kind of errors coming up when I'm giving it your request, then you got a problem. They didn't even know anything was going on. So they even have their system admin panel is there. It's just a hidden page. It's easy as fuck to find it. So, but enough about that. So here's the retarded part. So after Ron was on OAN and as the voting machine expert, Donald Trump tweeted about 8 hours ago, saying that this is why the votes were taken away from him, was because of this machine, and this guy had said it. So, I don't know if anybody saw all of this going down. I've been arguing with QAnons all week, and they believe some really weird stuff. Personally, I'm not really getting into it. The whole adrenochrome is fake. That was only popularized by Hunter S. Thompson from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and there really wasn't even a conspiracy theory about adrenochrome until the movie came out. So,
well, I mean, now they've admitted that young blood can help people stay younger. I mean, it's a known thing. Yeah, it's like in science and everything all around, man.
But yeah, adrenochrome isn't really known for that. It's just all it is oxidized epinephrine, and epinephrine really doesn't control in the body your anything else except for the fight or flight reaction. And
yeah, but then now they're saying that young blood can rejuvenate your body, which makes sense.
Well,
if
you'd have to get stem cells to do that, though, and you can do that, but you can do that.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure how all that works, but they are now saying that, and the whole adrenochrome thing. I mean, that goes to who is that lady? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Fiona Barrett. She said that she was a witness to what they did in Australia, and she claimed that like rich and powerful people did a sacrifice in front of her and cut open the body and took out the fuck's that organ? I don't even remember off the top of my head. But it came from her originally, and then originally from Hunter Thompson, like you said. But here's the thing: Hunter Thompson was accused of being involved in a lot of these weird rituals and pedophile activities. He was a member of the Bohemian Club at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's legitimate arguments there, and then there's like bullshit of just saying like, oh, the elites are all involved in drinking children's blood and all this, and that's like the Q narrative. The adrenochrome stuff, it is partially true, not to the degree of what people are believing. But yeah, like I said before about Q, I mean, it spins real facts, right, into bullshit.
You and I know who the original Q was. It was Mark. It was Mr.
I
don't know. So
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Look, QAnon is a bunch of fucking bullshit, dude. They used it so they could hijack things and use Anonymous and fucking use people that are not actually part of Anonymous to do counter opposition. The whole fucking system's controlled. Now listen, I want you to say it live over the fucking radio. A U.S. passport is supposed to fucking have a fucking printed address on it, right? It's supposed to have your address printed on the U.S. passport, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, well, what they did was they fucking, this guy, Shane Michael Smith, he knows a guy in a fucking, he's part of a goddamn fucking cartel. I don't know that motherfucker. He's taking pictures with me and shit, and fucking, he fucking made it look like I fucking know him and stuff, and fucking, he like tried to befriend me, and there's a guy in a goddamn cartel, and now they fucking took my fucking passport, and they fucking gave me a fucking fake one, because my fucking passport, now that I have in my pocket, doesn't have my fucking goddamn printed address on it. And they've been doing this shit to me for fucking 10 years, fucking with me for 10 years. This ties in with Anonymous Operation Cartel. It ties in with a lot of shit. They're all trying to trick Anonymous. They're trying to trick my friends into thinking that he's the real Gatsu. He's not the real Gatsu. I'm the real Gatsu. Fuck that motherfucker, man. And if you look at my fucking Twitter feed, you look at GATS00_TEMP. That's my temporary Twitter account. Now they've been hacking all my shit for fucking years, following me around the goddamn country, trying to stop me from talking to my friends. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what kind of technology I use. It doesn't matter what kind of if I use elliptic curve cryptography. It doesn't matter what kind of encryption I use. They fucking circumvent all my shit, man, because they're trying to disappear me so they can fucking infiltrate Anonymous. And the way that they fucking disappear people is by lying to different groups of people that are interested or watching and telling each group of people that I'm in a different location so that fucking nobody can come to help me and no one will know where I'm at. And then they fucking will disappear me and that guy will take my whole goddamn identity. They fucking got me put in jail 2 times where they switched the fucking goddamn fingerprints and the palm prints with his fucking palm prints, I think. And they fucking will never put you in jail for hacking-related crimes because they don't want to draw any attention to you when they're trying to take your identity like that. Did you hear me?
Yeah. But you can always just get an RFID scanner and see if you're. I don't even know what the code it would be, but that would be like the obvious way to check out if you have a real passport.
Yeah, or try to like go open a bank account, and if it passes, then it's got to be real. I mean, if it's in the system.
No, that's not how it works. Did you hear everything that I told you about this guy, Shane Michael Smith? Did you hear everything?
Yes, but we don't know who Shane Michael Smith is.
Well, I'm not supposed to be saying who they are. They're not supposed to be fucking with me. But they've been fucking with me for 10 goddamn years trying to take my identity, so fuck him. He lives in fucking Bakersfield, and fucking they're all part of a goddamn fucking cartel, man. And they fucking, if anybody finds out, if anybody knows that fucking I got someone in a cartel that looks a little bit like me, they kill him because they have to lie and make it consistent. They're all in with the fucking Italian mafia down in fucking Santa Monica. It's the Sinaloa cartel in with the Italian mafia in fucking Santa Monica. And they lie. Everything on the internet's a fucking lie, man. Everything on the internet is a lie almost. They control everything that you see on the internet. They're disinforming every different group of people. It doesn't matter if you're using a VPN, elliptic curve photography, or anything. All they have to do is fucking trick the forward-facing cameras. They fucking fraud the fuck out of anybody that looks like them. They use people that look like them. They find people that look like them, and they kill them and take their fucking whole goddamn identities. If they can do it. If they can do it.
Do you want to talk about any of the Berserker stuff?
Well, what do you want to hear about it?
Well, I mean, there's a big gap in Anons who were not around at that time. I mean, there's a huge wave of Anons that came around this pandemic, so.
Okay, well, these quote-unquote global pandemics, they're fucking all planned. They do it every 10 years, and they erase the records of it from the internet. And guess what? All you got to do is go down to your fucking local library and look at the fucking actual microfilm and look at all the old newspaper clippings for every single decade that we've had since 1950. They have pre-planned this shit ever since the plane was made, and they can't erase it from the goddamn newspapers. They can't erase it from history. It's there. They can try to hide it as much as they want, but it's there. Every 10 years, there's a global pandemic. And every 10 years, everybody's wearing fucking masks on their faces. And every 10 years, fucking, they do all this. They traffic drugs and people around everywhere. They're all just a bunch of drug traffickers and fucking pieces of shit.
Well, it's a banker-run scam. Every so often, because they can, they rip you off. I mean, you notice when they lay this stuff out, the banks always get the money first. They're first in line.
Did you hear me? Did you hear everything that I said?
Yeah.
What did you hear me say? What did you hear me say? Tell me so that I can know for a fact that my words got out and they didn't hack my phone and change the voice or fucking pretend to be me or something on the other end.
Well, you talked about the Sinaloa cartel, somehow tied into the mafia. I didn't catch that part of it, but they're coming after you.
Okay, and did you hear about how I told you they pre-plan all the fucking global pandemics every 10 years in the Western world?
I don't remember. I mean, I remember like SARS, but I don't remember. I remember SARS or the chicken shit or whatever the fuck it was, avian flu.
Chicken shit.
Yeah, there was a swine flu.
The swine flu, avian flu, and
Go to the library. Go to the library. Go to the library. Look at all the microfilm in the newspapers from every 10 years in every major city. Every decade, they have a fucking global pandemic, and everybody's fucking wearing masks and getting stimulus checks.
Well, it fits what the bankers like. They like to get their free money, skim it off the top, and they push you into that communist mode of this universal basic income and all that. So it fits two agendas at the same time.
I don't know though. I mean, if it's all made up, I mean, I've been around people that have gotten sick though, so it's pretty real.
But I mean, this wouldn't be the first time. I mean, what are bankers known for in the past? Yeah, I mean, in the modern era, say like, since the Rothschilds took over the Bank of England, since the
I
early
just don't
1800s, they've been
understand.
funding both
I don't
sides. So, I mean,
understand why you guys think that a virus can be fake when they have the ability to synthetically create viruses in laboratories since the 1980s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why would they fake a depopulation event when they can actually create a real depopulation event?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like what was
That's
that?
not like
MERS and shit. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Anthrax.
polio. The polio. The whole thing with polio. Fuck. Originally, or not originally. After the polio thing in the 1980s, there was a scientist in New York who actually recreated polio and made it more deadly. And if that would have gotten out, right, that would have been a whole new pandemic. So I just don't understand why you guys think that the virus or viruses in general would be faked when they have the ability to create synthetic viruses and have had that ability for decades now.
No, I don't believe it's like some sort of like cabal thing. I do think that there have been viruses in the past that might have been made in a lab, might have been thinking, but like the whole
swine flu,
like
well,
MERS was a weird one.
Well, swine flu, I just wanted to say real quick with swine flu, there was swine flu vials that were on a train in Switzerland, and that train crashed. And then all of a sudden there was mass swine flu all over. And they tried blaming it and saying it came from Mexico. But, I mean, that happened around the same time. And they said that those vials were not contagious or anything, but I don't believe that shit. Like, I think, honestly, it came from Switzerland from a mistake. That's the thing. Like, with these labs, they're BSL level 4, BS level 3 labs where they are working on viruses, either for creating some type of vaccine or working on, as they were in China, they were working on creating a virus. Literally, the patents and everything are all there for Xi Zhengli working with her assistants and everything for creating a virus that is half HIV and half bat coronavirus. So, I mean, like, it's the evidence is all there. Everybody just wants to say it's not, and all the mainstream media just wants to say it's all bullshit. But it's all there. It's all patents you can look up online. In fact, I linked it all for everybody in an article I wrote. So, I mean, you can literally just read through the article and click on the links if you really want to do that. But the point being is that it's all online, and this virus isn't fake. There's multiple people that I know who've died from it now. 2 of my team members are sick with it right now. So, I mean, like, I'm not saying that it's as deadly as has been said. I mean, obviously, it's different strains and different factors that cause, problems in people, worse than others. But I mean, it is a legitimate virus that's out there, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that it came from a lab. It's 100%. All roads lead to China. That's all I got to say.
The only problem with this is if it's such a badass bioweapon, how come it doesn't kill anybody? Maybe %.
It has been
That's
killing.
not a bioweapon.
Well, all right.
That's not a bioweapon.
Not necessarily, because when it first got out, it was very deadly in China, right? You remember all the people dropping dead in China. You remember all the videos and everything. The possibility is that it mutated to be less deadly and more contagious. That's the good possibility. It could have went the other way, where it would have been less contagious and more deadly. Usually, viruses, not a virologist, but usually viruses, they choose either 2 paths. From what I've read and what I've heard and everything on that. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler. I don't know if you know that or not, but if I'm wrong. The viruses choose 2 paths. It's either more deadly and less more deadly and less contagious, or more contagious and less lethal.
Yeah. That's very true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So with this virus, you got to understand that there's like hundreds and hundreds of strains all over the fucking place. Number one, that's out of, in my opinion at least, and from what I've studied in other viruses, from just looking online and everything and listening to other people who actually know what they're talking about more, that's out of the normality of viruses. Usually viruses take years to mutate, but these were like significant mutations within a short period of time, which that kind of shows that the viral genome might have actually been unstable, which again, it alludes to the fact that it probably came from a lab. Now, are governments taking advantage of this virus? Absolutely. Like they have.
Hear me?
Yes, we can.
They have these they're pushing a lot of Orwellian technology, contact tracing apps and stuff like that. They are pushing for lockdowns of people in their homes, all of that stuff. That's all like Orwellian and very dystopian, what they're pushing. And I agree with you on that, Alamo, but I don't agree with you on the fact that the virus is not real. Because I have had people die around me and people who are sick. So.
Listen, these cartel people, they fucking fraud everybody's shit. They change records around. These are some evil, evil sons of bitches. They fucking kill people and take their whole goddamn identities, especially if they can find someone that looks like them. I'm going to tell you something. I'm a member of Anonymous, and I always have been, and this fucking goddamn piece of shit, they just won't fucking leave me alone. Everybody stay away from some guy named Shane Michael Smith and Alex Salinas, and they goddamn fucking switch my fucking passport out, man. The passport I have now doesn't have my fucking address printed on it. It's supposed to have my fucking address printed on it. They'll just drug you, man. They'll drug you and make you fucking forget everything. They'll drug you with shit and make you forget everything. You'll forget everything, dude. And then they'll fucking take pictures with you and shit and drug you to make you do shit. They're fucking crazy, man. To try and trick everybody and trick your friends and everything into thinking that you fucking know them.
How would they drug you?
They fucking put it in your drink, dude. They got people working everywhere, man. They have thousands of people fucking everywhere. If they target you, you're fucked, man. They're gonna fucking fraud you. They're gonna fucking disappear you. They're gonna fucking take your whole goddamn identity, dude. If they have someone that looks like you, that's what they're gonna do. And they'll grow into the identity. They'll fucking get plastic surgery and shit. They'll get fucking osteoplasty. They can never fix the fucking between the eyes on the bridge on the eyes and shit. They can never do it.
Why go to so much trouble and then just make a fake ID with your stuff with their picture? That'd be like the easier way to go around it.
Because it doesn't work like that. They're all being watched by the upper echelons of the fucking U.S. federal government. They all have cases. They all have fucking all kinds of cases, and they do shit so they can hide from federal law enforcement. They're right here in the U.S., man. They fucking already popped these guys fucking several times going across the border into Mexico and Canada and shit like that. They all have cases.
Well, I think they're messing with you because you guys messed with them. I mean, I think that's what started the whole thing. You know, you messed with the wrong folks at some point. That's why they're doing it. Because most of the time they lay low. They're not going to go out of their way. They got other things to do. They're not going to mess with people unless they got a reason to.
In most cases, the cartel will just kill you.
Yeah, that's true. Remember that? Remember that kid that got murdered not too long ago? It was like yeah, it was like you know that the guy the guy that got arrested recently. It was like his nephew or something, and he was like posting himself online threatening another cartel member, and they fucking killed him like a week later.
Yeah.
A kid too. He was like 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard about the I heard this on the radio. I don't know if it picked up anymore. So the head general of Mexico was detained at an airport somewhere here in New York.
Yeah, I did hear that.
And they basically the FBI has been detaining him against his will for participating with the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico. Mexico said, if you don't release him, we're going to take all of your DEA agents out of Mexico.
Well, he was involved in, according to them, he was involved in money laundering and drug laundering.
Well, they all are. I mean, even people in our government are. But to have the to arrest the head of the army against Mexico, that's like them fighting words. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not joking. He's in a country that's them. It's a fighting words. A word could stem out of that. You know.
Yeah.
You don't just arrest head leaders because you. I mean, even Bush Jr. has a warrant for his arrest in somewhere in the Netherlands or Denmark or something.
Yeah. He does somewhere around there. I remember that.
Yeah, like you don't see them really enforce it because it would start a war. But this isn't the first time I've seen USA done some dumb things. Remember last year when we were talking about Huawei and how the daughter of the head CEO was there and they arrested her and
oh yeah.
yeah, and they basically said that she was accused of impersonating or she was there on like they're not the right kind of visa and that she was involved in money laundering or whatever. And I don't know. I guess everybody's kind of like paranoid about the Chinese technology, but I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying that they were gonna do anything weird, but it seems like he dropped out of the chat. Oh well.
Yeah, he dropped out of the chat. But I mean, China, they have direct energy weapons just as the U.S. does.
Yeah, you know what? Somebody sent me a RT article. Yeah, yesterday or the day before. Sorry. And they were saying that on the border of India, there was claims that they were using microwave weapons,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
RT said it was fake news, and so did the Indian government. But I'm just saying, and when they say fake news, we've seen the same thing when a lot of anons were going after the Nigerian banks and websites. They were calling it fake news, and that people were getting killed in the streets, but they were. Um,
Right. Yeah.
I don't trust. Don't get me wrong. RT does put stuff out there that a lot of people don't. But you also have to remember that they're a state-sponsored media outlet.
Right. Right. I was just going to say that since they're state sponsored by Russia, you got to understand that Russia would deny anything that against China. But that's weird. The Indian government would deny it too. So I don't know. But I mean, they do have these direct energy weapons.
It's not rocket science. What's his name? Tesla was interested in that. I think he during the whole Manhattan Project, they were
Yeah.
decide energy weapon they wanted to use. Uh, the other guys wanted to build a thermonuclear bomb, and Tesla wanted to do basically a plasma gun. So
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And he wanted to use, like you said, plasma as a energy source to kind of cause disintegration of a target. So I mean, these direct energy weapons. I kind of had a source tell me about the how they put rods on missiles. They put metal rods on missiles.
yeah. I've always wondered about that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I had a source tell me before he died years ago that they put metal rods on missiles and they would drop them to see what the effect would be, and it was a kinetic effect. Um, Basically, that was the prototype of the rods of God, and they do have this weapon currently now, and it has been used in the past very sparingly, but it'll cause a kind of earthquake effect when it hits the earth because it hits at such a kinetic speed.
Mm-hmm.
When it hits the ground, it causes a
Explosion.
kind of
Yeah.
earth shattering effect, and it leaves a giant fucking crater. But yeah, so they do have these direct energy weapons that they use, and there was a military manual in the 1970s or 80s where some of these big military industrial complex agents, or not agencies, what's the word I'm looking for?
Are you talking about the tungsten rods?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they were calling it like the fist of God.
no, a rod of God.
Yeah, but if you have anything that's falling at like terminal velocity, um, I don't know. You can actually get stuff to fall faster than terminal velocity, but you'd have to have like a propeller.
They launch it. They launch
Yeah,
it from space.
yeah,
They launch it from a satellite.
yeah.
I know exactly how it works and everything, but they have all types of different direct energy weapons now. But anyway, the military industrial complex corporations, they were working on this in the 1970s or 80s. I don't remember which, but they worked on a prototype on this, and they were talking about putting metal rods on a missile and dropping it from space. So they had that in the 70s or 80s. They had that knowledge of what they wanted to do and create this weapon, a kinetic weapon, which is a direct energy weapon. It was one of the first direct energy weapons. But now we have things like heat rays and fucking sound cannons and
LRADs. Remember, somebody was selling them on eBay.
Yeah, they have a newer type of weapon
Oh, you
that's
mean that
based.
laser thing? The laser thing where it blinds you?
No. They have a newer type of weapon. It's literally where it just came out in a commercial sense for Israel. An Israeli company just released it. It's basically called a sound beam cannon, and it works like an LRAD, right? Except if you're in the direction of it, you're the only one who can hear it. Everybody else around you can't hear it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of psychotic.
I've worked. I mean, I know such technologies, but it's usually you're using another sound to counterbalance.
No, it's actually really interesting. It creates a sound bubble near your ear.
Is that the one where the weapon, like, I shit you not, like, to our guests, like, I said this about 2 years ago, right? When there was these weird reports coming out of Cuba and China at the United States Embassy, right? And
Yep.
they were complaining of vertigo, and and then when they were inspected in their ears, there was inflammation in the little hairs in there, and there was obvious damage into the inner drum. So,
Right.
the official story from the United States government, and they brought out the best experts in the world, and this was the official statement. It was caused by crickets, and I made a big shit about it. I made a big shit about it, and I don't know. The post started getting buried on Twitter, and it basically what it is they were using an LRAD, and on
No, it's not an LRAD. It's like an LRAD. It's not an LRAD. It's a basically it's a gigantic system that when pointed at somebody, and it can also be done from space. I'm told.
that's I don't
wait.
know this. I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this is some scientific sci-fi technology. So basically, this technology it creates a sound in your ear. So you can have whatever sound you want to play. You can play music. You can play whatever the hell you want. But it creates a frequency within your head, and you hear sounds, and other people don't hear them. Now, they were working on this technology. It was called Voice to Skull. It was deleted off the Army's website years ago. But everybody thought they didn't perfect it. Now, other governments around the world have clearly perfected this technology and used it against the U.S. diplomats, or the CIA used it against their own. I have no idea. But somebody has the technology, and they're using it. Israel. Now, there's an Israeli company, Novus Systems, I think it's called. You gotta look it up. They just recently released a device. It's a consumer device where it's basically like a speaker, right? And it's similar to what this technology does, except it's not enhanced as much as what these governments have when it comes to using a satellite from space or from using a device outside of somebody's window or something like that. It has a very small distance where it'll work, but it does exactly the same thing, and it plays music or games or any type of sound inside your head, and only you can hear it. Everybody else around you can't hear it. It's an incredible technology. I'll give them that. Now,
Are they working with like sub-acoustic sounds like you can't hear?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're working with. I have no idea. I just know that this technology does exist, and if you put it high pitch enough, you can cause irritations within the eardrums. And people hear ringing in their ears, right? And that was a symptom that these diplomats said that they heard. They said that they heard chirping or ringing in their ears. Remember that?
That was the news article that was coming out, but yeah, basically they were describing symptoms of tinnitus, which
Yeah.
is the inflammation of the eardrum. It's just it causes a ringing in the ears, and it's easily corrected. But if there's obvious damage to the inner ear canal and the sound, the inner part of the ear, it can be a little more serious than that. It cause vertigo, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, right. It's direct nerve damage.
Yeah, but I mean, if they were doing that like at the subacoustic level, I could understand how that would happen, but
You have to look into this technology from Nova Systems. I think it's called Nova Systems. I'll look it up real quick to just confirm. But it's incredible.
yeah.
I'm looking it up for you right now. Hold on. I just want to make sure what it's called.
Yeah, I think they could.
Noveto Systems. Here, I have the article I wrote on it and all the other evidence and shit.
I gotcha.
All right, so they actually have had this technology for years, and in the commercial sense, they used it one time, and they used it for a paranormal activity board in New York City. And basically, when somebody walked by the board, it started playing a sound from the movie in their head. It was very creepy. But they have an article. It's on CNET discussing how this technology works. But they've had this technology for years. It's just never been commercialized as much as it's going to be now. This sound beaming stuff is going to be coming out for the holidays this year for December.
For Christmas?
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to have these sounds in my head as this. I honestly think that this technology is going to be causing problems.
Yeah, to say the least.
They say it's safe, but I don't believe them.
Just like they said. I knew this guy. He was old. He was old as crap. I don't remember his name. And he was like a counselor. He was like 90 years old, and he told me he was in the early 50s. He was in the South Pacific, and they were testing out the nuclear bombs. And you know what they told him? You know what they told him when the bomb was dropped? Just don't look at it.
I thought you were going to talk about the experiments that they did creating tsunamis by putting bombs under the ocean.
No. It was hilarious. Yeah, they did the same thing with the Navy when they were when they were outside the blast radius. They said just make sure you cover your eyes. Just like they were doing with the experiments in was it the Nevada desert when they were blowing up?
Yeah, that was the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, and people were coming to watch it and shit. Oh, God.
Yep.
Yeah, there were some rancher families that lived fairly close out there that lived through decades of that, and they told them essentially the same thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Then why are you worried about it?
What? Me?
Because they lie to you.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't tell you about all the subatomic particles that come blasting out. Forget the radiation.
Yeah, they really didn't know. They did know about the radiation, and I remember hearing a story, and I don't know where the fuck I heard it from. It was at least 2 or 3 years ago. So like when the Manhattan Project was going on, I guess they had like a pre-apparatus for the bomb, and some dude was playing around with these two plates that are supposed to be separated, and he was just going like in and out, like almost touching it, and then he put the two plates together, and there was a whole bunch of or there was like a flash that kind of happened right in front of his face, and yeah, he like died like 3 days later from radiation poisoning. Sorry, that's off in La La Land.
And what was that from now?
That was from the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who died from that. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I forget what the other project is that happened with a ship in Boston. Do you know what I'm talking about, Amel? Where they tried to teleport a ship.
The Philadelphia Project.
Philadelphia experiment. Yeah. A lot of people died from that too. During the early experiments of that, a lot of people died. Not even the supposed people that were fused inside the ship, which I don't know if I believe that, but could happen.
Yeah,
Messing with genetics and genomes and atoms and everything. I mean, or not genetics and genomes, but atoms.
Yeah, you're getting into stuff there that's almost like Star Trek. You're atomized transporting digitally and all that. Just that one's pretty hard to believe, especially for that day.
It is, but at the same time, with the atom stuff and everything, that's what Nikola Tesla was working on, and he was supposedly a part of that, from what I've read.
Yeah, they could have killed themselves with a lot of, if they were using high power stuff. So, I mean, if they hit themselves with some high power radiation from like the radar, something similar, I mean, that'll kill you just as sure as any other radiation. So, but the materializing within bulkheads and all that's it's a great story. I just I don't buy it. I mean, even today, if you tried something like that, how would you do it? We just don't have the technology.
Well, there's actually some scientists that came out and said teleportation is real, and that they have been able to teleport objects, but they can't teleport humans. So, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, when you start seeing some of these old black op experiments or special operations projects or special access projects, whatever you want to call it, when you start seeing some of the technology and the science coming out of that in the clear world science world years later, it makes you question, did they actually do it back then? Like, because they're able to do some of these things now. I mean, like a lot of the MK Ultra stuff that the CIA was working on, they were doing a lot of fucked up experiments with people's brains. A lot of that information and knowledge that they had back then is now coming out now with various different technologies. Like they have in the past couple of years, they were able to transmit a message from one person's brain to another person's brain using telepathy, basically, using machines. So, I mean, that's all stuff the CIA was working on as well. Like, all that type of brain reading and stuff like that is all stuff they were working on at the time. And I don't know if you saw or not, there's a former Google employee who created a ski hat, like literally a beanie, right? Where it reads your mind and you can like send messages to people like wearing that. Like it's really fucking weird. But it's a legitimate product and they have it out there now.
I gotcha.
Well, I don't know if it's out there now. I know that it's coming. It was advertised. It was on CNBC.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about the YouTube stuff that's going on right now?
Yeah, we might as well because we're gonna get banned anyway.
Yeah. So, I was following the whole story about how the API was restricted from GitHub for the YouTube downloader, and people online were kind of pissed off at it. And I mean, if I understand the independent property rights, but
Hello?
yeah, they were
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, the GitHub.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you something. These guys frauded me. They followed me across the country. They used fear and head games. They use a bunch of fear and head games, and they get you to like do shit. Like they make you scared to put down your address, so you give like fake addresses and shit. They make you get like an ID or something like that in another state. They control that anonymouse.com server. It's not real. It's not real. It's not the real Anonymouse. That got taken over by them in like 2010, and the real one moved to I2P. But anyway, these guys are freaking evil, man. This is how they disappear somebody. They disappear them by getting the person to put their records in all these different locations, and they'll drug you to do it. You can't stop them from doing it. You're going to be aware that you're doing it, but you can't stop yourself from doing it. It's like some kind of mind control drug, like scopolamine or Burandaga or something like that. And these guys have so much money that they can synthesize shit.
You're kind of cutting out. Let me see.
Can you hear me?
Let me see if I can fix it. Hold on. You might. I don't know if you're on a No, you're not a PC, so you can get.
Hello.
Yeah, we're here. We can hear you. Yeah, scopolamine has been used for crimes, mainly in Colombia.
Huh?
Yeah, you keep on cutting out. I don't know how many bars you have.
Hang on, let me move to a different spot.
Okay. Yeah, speaking of scopolamine, I remember when I was like deep into the darknet, I remember seeing some weird vendors selling scopolamine powder. And that was almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was probably the feds.
Yeah, I mean, it was just weird. Like they had it in like powder form and gel tabs. Like supposedly I think they call it like the devil's breath or something.
Yeah, scopolamines. Yeah.
But basically, you really don't need the main plant that they tell you about. Any nightshade family has micro amounts of scopolamine. It's just a process to isolate it. Or you can make it synthetically. I just don't know the chemistry behind making it synthetically. I know you. I think.
Don't do that to tell that to our audience on air.
Sorry.
Just say.
Yeah, I was gonna go. First, we're gonna start off with atropine or belladonna.
I have no idea what any of that stuff is, but that's a good thing I don't. But anyway, yeah, they like the whole scopolamine stuff and the devil's breath, whatever you wish to call it. It's legitimate. There's been cases documented across the world of people given this drug and then asked to go do a crime, and they don't remember committing the crime, or anything. They just do it like a zombie. There's also cases where people were given this drug and they sat just motionless while they got their house robbed. There's all types of stories out there about this drug. It's a legitimate drug. It's out there, and it mostly comes from South America. That's
that's where I've been hearing about it. But it's such a weird
I'm
thing.
gonna personally, I'm gonna have to personally go down to Sports Center, like in LA or somewhere else, and fucking go and talk to them in person, because I know that they're hacking my goddamn phone and shit all the time.
Well, all right. Well, Alamo just said
information, and I'm gonna have them analyze.
You're lagging really bad. It sounds like really bad. But
no, because this doesn't have an address on it. They changed all the information on the internet.
Alamo just said his passport doesn't have an address on it from 2011. So I don't know. Maybe they did change it, but mine does have a address on it. So maybe they changed it in 2011. I have no idea. But what are some of the other topics we have here, Tyler?
Yeah, so basically, I just wanted to get more about the YouTube thing. So basically, YouTube made a bold statement that any channel could have the commercials put into their, even us, right? Because we don't make any money off the YouTube channel. We just put it there just so that more people can hear us out and have a wider audience, because it's more convenient to post to streaming stuff to social media. So, I mean, we're also on VK, Twitch, DLive, OKRU. We're on a few other Russian sites, but
hello.
Yeah. So, so when YouTube made the bold statement, they basically said that we don't care whether you're making money off your channel or not. We're gonna put commercials into your channel, and they're gonna make money off of you. So you don't own your shit. You're not the sole proprietor of anything on there. Facebook has made that argument several times, but then nukes your account and doesn't allow you to download any of your pictures or anything, unless you probe them a lot. So I mean, we'll stay on YouTube as long as it's there. But I see this as a power grab for YouTube, because I don't know. I've been hearing this for the last year, maybe a little longer, about YouTube, that content creators who are making a living off of making YouTube videos can't do it anymore. So they've been using like Patreon or whatever, and it's really just sad, because some of these people are doing like really good shit. Like I follow Jeremy's IT Lab, where he gives free IT lessons, right? And for whatever course you need, and he doesn't make shit off of it. So off of his views, he has more than a couple million views altogether on all the videos. So he has to set up a Patreon account, and he's offering like I think it was a CCNA or whatever. But there's a lot of people that do.
Hey, pause that for a second. Just to let you know, I'm gonna have to go down to the fucking passport agency, like down in LA or somewhere else, and have them analyze this passport that I have right now, because it doesn't have an address on it, and it's supposed to have an address on it. It's supposed to have an address on it, I think. I remember the last passport I had an address on it, and they switched it on me. This guy switched my passport on me, man, with a fake passport.
But Alamo just said that his 2011 passport does not have an address on it.
Yeah, mine. I don't remember mine having one either.
Mine does, because I got it prior to 2011, so that might have been something that they changed. I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, last time I used it when I was over in Central Asia, so it's been a minute.
Okay, no, that's not true. Your passport is supposed to have an address written on it. It's supposed to have it on displayed on the information booklet page. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just looking up where the office is for the passports. I don't think there's any in California. I think there's one in Texas and one in DC.
Yeah, I've never gone into an office. You always got to mail it in.
Oh no, they do. They do have one in California. Um, yeah, you got to go down to Irvine.
Isn't there one in LA?
I don't know.
There's not one in Los Angeles, or what?
Yeah, there is. Hold on. Yeah, it's on Wilshire Boulevard downtown.
But that one's bad place because it's by Santa Monica, you know? Very bad place to go.
Wilshire seemed like a nice boulevard.
It's not. I mean, yeah, like, it's just really bad down there because that's where all the freaking mafia people and shit live.
All right, so I just Googled this for you. Take a look inside the passport. It doesn't actually have your address printed in it. There's just
Okay, they're lying, though. They're lying. The internet's lying, though. They change the information every 10 years to trick everybody.
Well, then you would have to go to an official.
I don't give a shit. I'm a goddamn American citizen. This is how they do it, man.
Well, actually, you can't get rid of your citizenship. You have to pay $100 to be stateless. $200. Yeah, but you.
So the only way to relinquish your citizenship is to leave the country with a passport and go to the embassy and tell them you don't want to be a citizen anymore.
No,
That's
you
how
can
you
do
do
it.
it.
You can do it while you're in the United States. But you'd be those guys, the sovereign citizens. They were doing it.
Well, all that shit's fake. Like the sovereign citizenship thing, that's all fake.
Well, I mean, you can go in another country and get a citizenship from another country, and the weird part is that America lets you have dual citizenship and more than one, but other countries don't have that option, like Norway, post-Soviet countries, Central Asia, Turkmenistan, Tajik. They don't let you have the luxury of having two citizenships, so you would have to relinquish your own. I don't know how that process would work.
I've been trying to do it, man. Look, man, as far as I know, I'm a fucking Frisian, man. I'm from the Western Germanic people. You know what I mean? That's a rare breed of people. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. It really is true. Years ago, when I was talking to my friends, man, like, I mean, I don't know what happened, dude, but like, see, with like these cartel people, they freaking like brainwash you, dude. They'll drug you while you're asleep, man, with like shit, and fucking like make you do shit when you're awake. It's not a joke, dude. It's not a joke. It's real, and you can't get rid of them, dude. They just invade your life. They won't fucking ever leave. They'll never leave. They never ever leave. They won't fucking leave. Every time I left, man, they fucking followed me across the country. They followed me across the country. They kept trying to like get me in trouble and entrap me and shit, so they could fucking take my identity. So they could kill me and take my identity. I saw them. I have 4 video recordings of them. I have 4 video recordings of them. I have 4. Do you hear me?
Yeah, just go to the passport agency tomorrow. Yeah, it's like downtown. So.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Can you see my Twitter feed? Can you see my temporary Twitter feed? Does it actually? What's the last post on there? Because they cache all the accounts and they make it to where like your posts don't go up, or where the account doesn't exist, and they make you think that you're posting shit to an account, and while they pretend to be you and shit. You know what I mean?
Your account's there.
What's the last post?
4 hours ago. Google me.
What does it say?
Yeah, they made a month-long curfew just so they could get me killed. I'm not going to post your name. And it says Google me.
Post my name. Post my name.
Why would I say that over the air? That's for you. We value people's anonymity on this profile. If you wanna disclose your personal information, that's up to you.
Is this a real broadcast or is this a disinformation broadcast? Are you guys
Why-
legit? Because I've heard some. Huh?
We've been broadcasting. Oh my God!
Oh my-
How long has it been? It's almost 4 years.
Oh yeah, for 4 years.
4 years.
It came at 2 years ago, I guess,
Remember,
right?
were you there when I got robbed on air?
No.
On air.
At some point.
No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, I got robbed.
Wasn't me- yeah, you told me about that, but no, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, so we're legit. We've managed to acquire like a small crowd, but you know anybody who wants to come onto the show, we don't disclose or discourage. We even let the flat earthers on here. So if anybody wants to come on, we let them come on. We give a voice, we give a platform for whoever wants to come on here, within reason, though.
I don't know. Whoever did this to me, man, they wanted me dead, dude. They wanted me dead. They want to take, you know, they want to take my whole identity. They want to take my passport and everything and make it to where I can't leave. Or they're gonna wait until I leave the country and disappear me or something, you know? They're so secretive about shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, I haven't.
Well, it is the cartel you're dealing with.
And they're everywhere, dude. They're
Yeah,
everywhere.
if you have an app called Yoti, and you have an RFID scanner, you can put your passport onto the RFID scanner, which is like the back of an iPhone. And I don't know, I couldn't get it to work, but it'll spit out whatever's in that RFID chip.
You can do that with a Android phone too.
Yeah.
No, I don't have that. I'm gonna have to go to the passport office and have them look at it in person.
Yeah, I guess you would have to do that because that's the only way to get them on. They can just scan it and they'll tell you if it's real or not.
Are they gonna lie to me too? Because they're
would
gonna
they
try
lie
and
to
make
you?
it. Because they're gonna try to make it look like I'm not an American or something like that, and they're gonna fucking like lie to me, you know?
Why would they think you're not an American if you have identification proving that you are an American?
Because these people are so good at freaking fraud that they know all the cutting edge techniques of fraud. They know all the cutting edge techniques, and they can freaking go get identity documents with other people's information if they look like them. You see what I'm saying?
Well, they do that. They do that in Navario all the time. I mean, you can get identification documents on anybody for like $500. It's not complicated.
No, what they do is they find people that look like them, and then they go and they actually get fucking identity documents issued to them with their fucking goddamn name. So, like, if you looked like Rod Stewart, for instance, then you could go down to the DMV and you can use Rod Stewart's birth certificate and his information to get a freaking identification and his name because you look like him. You see what I'm saying?
My God, Rod Stewart. I forgot about that person.
Yeah. Hey guys, we only have like 45 minutes left until the end of the broadcast, so.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. I failed my alarm failed me, so whatever.
Yeah, I tried tapping you. You didn't wake up.
What did I miss?
I don't know. Our guest was talking a little bit, and we talked about the whole YouTube thing. We talked about GitHub with the YouTube download thing. We talked about all of the QAnon stuff that was going on.
Ron Watkins.
Yeah, the thing that I don't get, and I understand how people want to be patriotic and they want to be doing whatever with the whole QAnon thing. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. My ideology is not yours, and I won't argue with it. But I will point out this: your commander-in-chief RT'd a admin for 8kun. 8kun, I don't know if anybody's been there, 8kun.top. Just look in the search bar and type in Nazi. You'd be surprised how many. It's a haven for white supremacy. It's not the whole thing, but there is a lot of porn and what else is on there? There's
It's got porn.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it. I didn't really probe and see if anything was illegal, but I did do a bunch of searches around white supremacy and Nazis, and 8kun is a safe haven for white supremacists.
Chan has always been that way, so why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You know.
But the other thing is that the website has been linked to 4 mass shootings. That's the part that I don't get. I understand free speech. I understand that. I understand that, but you are giving a platform and a voice to people that 4 people have killed dozens of people.
Yeah, there used to be a high scoreboard on 8chan. Like they literally had a board that was called High Scoreboard, where they kept track of how many. I'm not saying they, as in the admins. I'm saying whoever on the board. They kept track of the most people killed in mass shootings, and they would rank them. And every once in a while, somebody would come on the board and say, I'm going to go commit a bigger shooting and beat your high score. Or not beat your high score, but beat that high score, I mean.
Yes, I've heard of that.
So, yeah, they had the high scoreboard on 8chan. So, I mean, what do you expect? Like,
well, Frederick Brennan, didn't, after the last mass shooting, he wanted nothing to do with the website, you know?
Of course. What the fuck is that?
It sounds like an engine.
Hang on. I'm gonna mute my shit. There's like an engine or something. Go ahead.
So what else?
Sorry, I'll mute myself.
We had a tornado in New York City yesterday, or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Peru president resigned after bloody scuffle between police and protesters.
Twitter censorship and how its algorithm appears.
Yeah. So I noticed. I did this about a week ago. I was trying to post a video and I didn't realize that it was an experiment on how the algorithm works. I didn't really dig into the nuts and bolts. I haven't really looked into the inspect elements or whatever, but I was noticing behavior of how when I posted a video, right, which was the old who are they called? Non-profits or whatever the fuck they were. So they had like a whole Fight Club scene, and then they went back to like posting all of these images, right? Presidents and nuts, just like a whole bunch of bad things that have ever happened, along with the thing that happened in China, and I posted it for about a minute, right? And then I just noticed that my Twitter feed was not acting right. And then I started checking my connections. I started rebooting device. And then I was like, okay, something's weird is going on. So like I typed my posts in another account to see if I can search for them, and I couldn't find them. And then so like I go, it has to be this fucking video because he got fucking flagged, right? So I delete the video, and then everything's starting to work fine again. So their algorithm is just basically just looking around for anything. I don't even know what's but maybe the all the flashes of violence and explaining how it was like really really bad. But I don't know if a computer can differentiate between what is
Yeah,
educational and what is not.
no, it can't. That's the issue with using those types of algorithms like that to suppress content. Is that if there's a violent situation happening in another country and the video is being suppressed, it's possible that it won't get out and get around. Now, typically, with the internet and everything, most of the time when something's happening, it gets out eventually. But if these algorithms are kind of throttling things like that, it might make it be more delayed. But also, I just wanted to say, in regards to Twitter censorship, somebody posted a tweet about the Tuareg.
Yes, I noticed that's been going around too. Yeah, that's been suppressed.
Yeah, and it said to me this tweet is not available. It said this quoted tweet is not available, right?
Mm-hmm.
I clicked on the tweet, and then it appeared, and then it didn't say it anymore.
Oh, I had the same with. There was actually a free Jeremy tweet from our friend, and he tagged me in, and I saw that it said tweet unavailable, and I clicked it, and it became available. And he is one of the Pirate Party guys, and it has probably to do with the Terek thing too, because he is of course against Terek. I mean, he's on a Pirate Party running for parliament.
Yeah. Right. It's insanity what we're witnessing. We're witnessing them kind of like feel like we're like we're fucking idiots. Like, why would you have it so? Whoever wrote this is a fucking moron.
Well, have you seen Twitter employees? They're kind of retarded too. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Whoever wrote this is a fucking moron, and they're literally going to be shooting Twitter in the foot because it's so obvious that you're being censored. It says this tweet is unavailable, and then when you click on it, it appears, and then it doesn't give you this tweet is unavailable anymore. It just shows you the tweet. Is that exactly what you had too, Mark?
Yeah, so it almost looks like they're hiding behind the error excuse or something, right?
What?
Yeah, they can't censor it. They're hiding behind the error. Like they can always claim like, okay, this is just a bug. We don't know. We were trying to fix it, but somehow it goes on for weeks, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally like that's how I feel too about everything is that exact mindset. It looks like they're hiding behind an error, trying to say, "Oh, it's just a bug." We're not censoring people, but in reality, that's not what's going on here.
Heck, if you guys can get me any money to get me on a plane the fuck out of here, please do it. My Cash App username, I think, is GCJFOOR. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I changed it to that or something, and that's what's linked to my card. If you can get me any money, if anybody can get me any money at all to get me the fuck out of here, please do it. Because I gotta go. I have to get out of here. I have a life to live. These people have been harassing me for over 10 years. We tried to make them stop. They won't stop. They won't leave me alone until I'm dead, and that guy has my identity, and I'm scared for my life. And you guys may think that this is stupid, but I posted all the evidence. I posted all the proof to my Twitter account.
Okay, yeah, I've seen your videos. Where would you go if you were leave wherever you are now? I mean, like, what kind of country is still safe here now in 2020?
Canada.
You go to Mexico, the cartel's down there.
No.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I mean, you can go to Argentina and shit like that, but they still have Nazi sympathizers down there. So
Argentina, man.
yeah, remember they had that Hitler had a plan of invading America. He had a bunch of there was German colonies down there.
Yep.
Just get some. Yeah, you can buy an old U-boat and go to like Antarctica from there.
My friends want me in a specific place. I've been out of contact with them because of what has happened and because of the confusion. But it's not my fault. It's because these people keep freaking drugging me and shit, and I can't stop them from doing it. I can't stop them from doing it. They find out where I'm sleeping and shit. They find out where I live. When I move, they find out where I live. They follow me. They fucking do this shit. They're not gonna stop until I'm dead and they have my identity. This sounds so fucking crazy. It sounds so crazy, but this is how you disappear somebody. You harass them and you get them to spread their records out across everywhere. So that whenever anybody investigates a paper trail, they'll never find you. This is how they disappear people. They lie. They lie to different groups of people and say that the person is in like all of these different places. Or in one of these different places, you know what I mean? And then they disappear you, and the guy that looks like you takes your identity. That's it. And then for the next 10 years, they lie and make it all consistent. They'll start lying to everybody and make it all consistent to cover it up. Do you hear me? Did you hear all that? Did you hear all that?
Yeah, we heard.
Yeah, we heard all of it.
So where are you going to run to?
That's what they've done to people, man. They're dead, dude. People in this have died. This is how they get them. You guys got to get me out. Get me some money. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I don't even want anybody's money. I'm so fucking proud and stuck up. You know what I mean? But you got to help me get out of here. You got to help me get out of here, man. Please, somebody. You know? I mean, I deserve to have a life. I deserve to be left alone. These people have followed me and done this to me. They've destroyed my entire life, man. See, if they wanted to kill somebody, yeah, they would just kill them. They would like do a home invasion and kill them and burn the body or something like that. But when you got someone that's in this that looks like you, this is how they do it, you know?
Hey, on that note, guys, has anyone ever heard from Barrett Brown lately?
Yeah, I did. I don't want to put his shit out there, but he kind of broke up with his girlfriend, and I think he was using. I know I'm not gonna say, but he was doing some long-term medication therapy that he was doing for his addiction, and I guess he kind of slipped. He went to rehab. In the last post he had, he said he was going to restart Pursuance Project, and he's leaving. He said several times, even on our show, he said he was going to leave USA, and he said
he did.
Yeah, he said he was going to Aruba with some one of his friends that he knew in the online casino thing. And I think he's out there. I don't think he has plans of coming back anytime soon. But as far as I know, most of his social media accounts are gone. I don't know if that was intentional, but I understand he wants. I guess he's been talking about it for a while, having a fresh start. You know, maybe that's what he needs.
Okay, yeah. The last thing I think in October he saw was something about the fishes. He was like recording some tropical fish. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering. I was legitimately wondering. I looked into it, and it actually had to do with our guest. Like, was posting some stuff, and I checked some things out, and Yeah, so apparently he was making recordings of tropical fish.
Yeah, he was probably, he's been having a long battle with, himself for a long while. He just probably slipped.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It sucks. He used to be very active in the whole what is like the political scene, right? And he's like very very vocal, and then suddenly he kind of drops out, so to speak.
Well, he was suspended and taken out just like I was. Like they took on they took out our voices and
No, he
and
kept saying stuff.
well, no, he was going after Palantir
Yeah.
and ICE and everything, and he was saying how ICE was working with Palantir on various different technology for capturing immigrants or illegal immigrants. I'm sorry. So, I mean, he took a swing at Palantir, and Palantir is massively huge. Like how well connected Palantir is. Palantir was one of the companies that went after WikiLeaks as well.
Yeah, together with HB Gary, and Palantir was actually setting out a plan to inject fake leaks into WikiLeaks to discredit them.
Right.
Speaking of our friends, God, what's that Swedish kid that's living in Ecuador right now?
Ola Bini.
Yeah. They still haven't settled his case yet, and nobody understands how he's related to WikiLeaks. But he's been accused of hacking at the highest level, and I don't know. He says Ecuador is home. He's gonna fight it.
He was okay. He was involved in some way with the administration of the website, but I don't think that he was accused. He's being accused of hacking at the highest level, but I don't think he did hack at the highest level. I think they're just holding him as they're holding Julian because he was an administrator of the website.
If I were the country,
I think that they were worried that he had the insurance passwords. That's what I think it is. That's just my gut feeling on it.
Yeah. Using the hacking narrative is very easy against a guy like that. I have to remember that when Ecuador kind of sold out Julian Assange, a lot of hacking attacks happened after that. It was not done by Assange or by Ola Bini or whatever. It was done by supporters who were rage out, and they did a lot of attacks.
But just to put it out there, I mean, it's obviously done by anonymous. You stirred the beehive, so to speak. I mean, or the wasp nest, whatever which you want to use. I mean, it was done by Anons, and it's very obvious that it's done by Anons. I mean, go look at all the Tango Downs from the Ecuadorian embassy. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, but we cannot confirm that anyone on this show has anything to do with anything, right?
No.
But,
I honestly, I mean, I hate to say this, I don't hate to say this, but I don't really see, I don't see the UK government handing him over. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling though, but I might be delusional when it comes to Julian.
I talked to Milos Matusiak. He's a Swiss lawyer, actually, formerly a German lawyer, and he. We both had the opinion that the actual prosecution and this whole process is actually the punishment already, and it is to scare journalists. And it actually makes sense that he will be declared innocent at the end to scare journalists more, because that will say okay. So we can do this to an innocent man. So watch out what you write, right? We will scare you more because we can do this to an innocent person, and it doesn't matter what you, if you have anything, if you ever did anything criminal, we can torment you like this and keep you locked up as long as you want.
Years.
Well, then basically they just force people to use anonymity and aliases. I mean, come on.
Wasn't no like I know that Julian was what was it? He for a while he was in house arrest. I just don't know. I just don't. He was. What?
Yeah, he was for a while under house arrest, and
What country
then
was that in? Germany or Switzerland or Sweden or? Does anybody remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's when he was trying to. He knew he was hurting for money.
Honestly, I think UK too. Actually, like I'm not 100% sure on it, but
Remember, he had dinner with Julian, and he was trying to sell DVDs to like get some money because, yeah, I get. Well, I mean, we all have needs, but he's kind of like on house arrest. You remember that?
who was trying to sell DVDs?
Julian.
Oh no, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea. I don't know. I mean, we all have needs, but yeah, he was like on house arrest. I just don't remember what country it was from. Yeah. Well, he's been what? He was in the Ecuadorian embassy, locked up basically for seven years, 8 years now. We're almost dealing with a decade here, right?
Yeah.
Mark, am I right about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, over 7 years in an embassy, and then an arrest early 2019. Yeah, we're getting close to 9 years, if I'm correct. By the way.
No, we already hit past 9 years. We're in like 9.5 now.
Yeah, well, it's insane, right? I mean, if you think about it, it's like that's like the best. Okay, like the best time of his life is gone. Like the best years of his
He
life.
has 2 kids. This is getting insane, and he really didn't do anything. People gave him and he posted it. He didn't hack anything.
Well, you have to understand that H.B. Gary, Barrico, and Palantir, they all planned this out. There's emails where it literally says to take him around from country to country and charge him for like 50 years. Like that's literally what they have in their mail.
But for any journalist, you get your hands on sensitive material. Whether it's a whistleblower on the government or it's classified material, you have a journalist duty, right, to expose what is going on. That's kind of the luxury of being a journalist, and I just don't understand how they're affiliating it with the crime. Now, I know that when the extradition trial was going on, there was a lot of stuff said from the United States government that wasn't true.
Right. Yeah, they said that the Iraq and Afghanistan war logs actually caused deaths, and that was proven false because they literally said that it didn't cause deaths during Manning's trial. So what did they do? They lied under oath.
Yeah, they did. Iraq was horrible. God, the Iraq war was disgusting.
Yeah. Okay, but so they lied about Julian there too, because he personally redacted, together with Ian Overton from The Guardian, they personally redacted all the names out of the files.
It's probably already fucked. I mean, they probably already disappeared Julian. I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but they probably did the same thing to Julian. That's how they get everybody, is by doing this. I mean, I have no way of knowing if it's really still him or not, but they all have to lie and make it consistent. So they have to make it consistent so that 10 years from now, everybody will forget. And when they look back at the falsified records, they're going to believe those falsified records, and they're going to believe that story. And then they're going to erase it from the internet, and it's just going to be gone. It'll be swept under the rug. This is how it happens. They have to keep people out of the media. They censor people. People that are actually important, that know this shit, they don't give them media coverage. They don't do it. And he was a pro. He was a pro at doing this for years. I mean, he came out and he was always in the media, always in the media. You always have to stay relevant in order to stay alive. It's the only way to stay alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but hey, in Julian's case, I'm I'm pretty sure it's him because both his parents are involved, right? And I mean, his parents are like very vocal at advocating for him. So,
hey, dude, when it comes to this stuff, and if they think you're a spy, this is what they do. They will disappear you. They will kill your family and replace them with people that look like them if they can do it. This sounds crazy. This sounds insane, but these guys are pros at this shit. They have units that do this shit. Okay, they will move in. They will start drugging everybody with shit to confuse them with different shit. Okay, they'll hack the fucking network. They'll hack the internet. They'll hack everything, and they'll just fucking disappear them all. And they'll hack and drug all their friends, so that they slowly forget over time. So that if anybody is not involved and is watching, they won't even understand or see it happen. This is how they do it.
In the case of Julian, though, there's a lot of people who are close to him who have gone to prison and seen him in the past couple months. And
how do you know they know him? How do you know that they know him personally, or that they've known him for fucking 15, 20 years? The only one that would know is his son. He had a son.
Who?
I mean, before this, he had an adult son.
Well, who?
He's the only one that would know for sure.
Are you talking about Julian?
Yeah, Julian had an adult son.
no, that is true. He has an adult son. There's more kids though with different women.
Yeah, he has 2 4-year-olds with Stella.
Yeah.
Well, his dad would know. He's got a father.
Yeah, I don't think his father has any social media accounts. I know his mother follows me. I don't know. It never occurred to me to ask about his kids. So.
Yeah, well, I've met John Shipton, and his appearance and his voice is so similar to Julian that that's really his dad. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah, his dad's from Melbourne or something like that, right? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, but if you listen to him speak, I mean, his voice is like Julian's voice, right? And when you hear him, like you hear Julian.
Get off! I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to sleep. If you guys can help me out with that, if you can somehow get me a fucking plane ticket to go to the Netherlands, please get me out of here. Get me the fuck out of here. I never fucked with these people. It wasn't me that did it. I never fucked with these people. They fucked with me first. They frauded me. They did it to me. They harassed me. They were going to do it to me anyway. But if you can get me out, I want to go to Friesland. I want to go to Friesland. You know where that's at? You know where North Friesland's at? You're from the Netherlands, right?
I'm from the Netherlands, yeah.
You know where North Friesland's at?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, well those are my people right there. Those are my people. I want to go there.
Oh yeah, you told me that before in the Discord server. That's a long time ago. You said that. Yeah, you told me that.
Okay, I want to go there. I want to be safe. I want to be away from all this shit. I want to be away from it. I don't want these people to touch me ever again. I don't want them to see me ever again. I don't want them to hurt me ever again. I don't want them to follow me ever again. I don't want them to do this. Please get me out, okay?
Hey, just calm down now and take some rest, whatever. Stay in the server here, and we'll talk later, okay?
I can't because I'm operating only off of Wi-Fi right now. I don't have phone service, so I was gonna go up and go to sleep, but I think I'm gonna get off right now and go to sleep, and then I'll be on tomorrow or something, and I'll call you. But I'm basically camping out in a few different places, trying to hide from these people. I mean, they want me dead, man. So yeah, I'm gonna get off. Okay.
Take care, man.
All right.
Later.
Okay, I seriously have to listen back this episode. I don't know you guys discussed tonight.
Oh yeah, we almost talked about everything. It was gonna be a 2-hour episode because I have stuff I have to do later. Yeah, I just want to touch back on the whole QAnon thing. You know, look, we're anons. We've been at war for you guys for a long time. Uh, it's really time to put down the shit, and the shit is sinking. Okay, we know who the original QAnon was. It was Micro, and I believe Ezra was actually working for the government, but it was a troll that went too far.
Right.
Which
It was
Watkins is
It was Ezra
QAnon.
Yeah,
I've said this
Ezra
for years,
Cohen
and I've been saying this for
passed off the 0 hour 1 and microchip,
Yeah.
and then after that, we now know that Jim Watkins took over Q on 8chan.
I've been saying this for years, but nobody listened to me until Aubrey Cottle said something. Nobody believed. Lotus believed me.
I didn't think Jim Watkins was that smart, honestly.
He's ex-military. He used to repair a helicopter.
I
and
didn't know that.
Here's the part. While he was still in the military, he was hosting Asian porn sites during the .com boom while he was still in the army.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Well, it seems now that Watkins was involved from the start, and Aubrey and these guys, yeah, they leaked a lot of stuff about that. We know that the first posts were done by Micro and a guy named
Ezra, who works for the CIA now.
Yeah, and a guy named Dreamcatcher.
Wait. Well, Ezra actually is a PSYOPs officer that trained.
Yes, exactly. That's what he was. Yeah.
Farm. I was the first one to bring up Ezra. Everybody when I came out and I said Ezra Cohen Watnick was involved because somebody randomly fucking told me, and they wanted me to go BQ, and they wanted to pay me to go to a hotel and fly me out somewhere on the East Coast. I was like, no, I'm not going to do everybody fucking knows that I have actual data, right? They want my data. So they wanted me to post that data as Q. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I refused. And for whatever reason, they told me that the first Q was Ezra when I questioned about microchip in 0 hour 1. And, I was one of the first ones to say that this is kind of how everything was going on. I also think that Pamphlet Annan was involved when Q was on 8chan. I'm pretty sure. Because there's some very suspicious videos of him. Very suspicious videos. But, I don't know what happened with the whole 8chan thing. I only know what happened on the 4chan thing because I was actually asked to be involved in it. So I have no idea about what happened on 8chan with Q. But it looks like Jim Watkins was involved. But the question is was he involved himself, or was there other people who were involved as well with him,
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know, but I just have been making it a point because Jim Watkins' son says he is they said on OANN that he was a systems expert, and I've often questioned his ability to cut anything, especially since he was trying to work on LokiNet. And, I was looking at the YouTube video that the creator of LokiNet had done. It literally would have taken him 2 hours to do it or set it up. And then 2 years went by, and he said that he was going to bring it up again, but then he never got around to it. So I've often questioned his integrity about everything,
It was obviously a useful tool for some people to use political purposes.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that when you start, I understand there's a real need for people to be working off of the back end of Tor, these really obscure places like I2P, and these closed small intranets, and but the problem happens is that there's a big problem, right? That happens when you have stuff like this is that you might have the most sensitive information in the world, and you might be safe putting it there, but not many people are going to be going around looking for it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but the Q is a sinking ship. It's not going to be around for much longer. I mean, once if the guy in the Oval Office is kicked out, on the 19th or 20th, like, what is Q's gonna do now? They believe that Donald Trump is the savior. I don't.
It's
I
so
don't. I,
funny that like it's so funny that they believe that because it's like he appointed all of these deep state people, but then they're like they think that they're like living in an alternative reality where they're not deep state people. Like William fucking Barr, man. He literally, I've said this a million times, but he literally protected the CIA, he protected the FBI, he protected all of these agencies from prosecution during the 1980s and 90s. Like I don't understand why they think that like Trump is the savior. It's like he literally appointed William Barr.
well, yeah, I was watching. I don't remember who it was. I remember seeing on Twitter. I guess this guy was like some big guy in the army, and he said that if everybody has failed, and this is looking because we're not a leader, we're a leaderless organization. We don't believe in that shit here, but in the political world they do. And this guy said that if my men are failing, it's because I failed to train them right. It is my fault, and that's not something that we've seen through this administration. You know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So there's also another thing here. What the fuck is up with the election being fake theory? What is that? I've never heard that yet.
Yeah, so like they've been going around and saying that um, the election has been fake, it's been frauded. I've also heard theories that the United States military had access to the official counts of the machines, and I don't know. I've heard all sorts of stuff this week, but I believe in facts, and I haven't been seeing a lot of facts going around, you know?
I did see something about Dominion, and there being so-called whistleblowers that are going to come out on Dominion, so that should be interesting. I don't know anybody who's ever falsely claimed that there's whistleblowers, so we'll see.
Well, I don't know. There might be some actual truth to that, and I've been following around these guys for a while, and they said at DEF CON, not this year, but the last year before, and they were trying to show people how these voting machines can be hacked. And believe it or not, some of these machines are using Windows ME. I'm not fucking lying. I really not.
Who's ME?
Yes, and they were easily exploited by putting a turtle into, you know what I mean, like a little booter into the fucking USB, and you could get into the admin panel of that thing.
Of course. But the thing is, how would it like? Okay,
It literally takes like 2 to 3 minutes to set it up. So
let's theoretically say that it's true, right? How would that work? Would it change the vote and then print out a receipt that
see, I don't know. I don't know the details about that. All I know is that they were able to get admin access. So yeah. But,
curious if that would be something that would be possible that's programmed in where you would be able to change the vote in the actual system and then print out a receipt of the actual vote.
Yeah, but this was like 2 years ago. I really haven't been following, too much about what has changed. So that was 2 years ago, an issue. They might not have even been using Windows ME Or
years ago there was a voting system guy who testified at Congress saying that these systems are not secure.
I know who you're talking about. He's like some professor or something. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I couldn't remember his name or anything, so I just called him voting professional guy, whatever, But yeah, so he testified in front of Congress and said that these systems aren't secure. So, and the thing is, with these claims that are coming out from Sidney Powell, she's saying that they use these Dominion voting systems in other countries to rig elections. If that comes out to be true, and there's actual evidence to it with whistleblowers, this is going to be a shitstorm.
Yeah, I don't know. They fired the head of CISA yesterday, Chris Webbs, who.
Chris Krebs. Yeah.
Chris Krebs. Yeah, they fired him, and I honestly that's a really weird move, even in because he didn't like what he was saying. So. I mean, you fire a guy because you don't like what he's saying. So, it's very, very bizarre. So.
It's because he represents the administration, and Trump says that he's saying things that aren't true. Where he was saying that there's no proof of voting fraud and all of that, and he's saying that there is proof. So that's why he fired him. That makes sense, but.
Yeah, but the president tried to make him put down the page on CISA, and he didn't.
Right. So I guess that brings us to our next thing about, is society getting dumber?
Yeah, we only got 2 minutes left. I was in a long dialogue with people on Twitter. I don't know. I was kind of bored, and I talked about a lot of people think they know stuff, but they don't really read anything. People, they just believe what is shown in front of them. And to be honest, a good journalist does his own research. Yeah, looks at stuff. I mean, and this is outside of the realm of, I always looked at the internet, right? So as a young kid, as a library. It's the world's largest library at your fingertips. But there are other avenues you can go to get the real information. Go to a library, start reading about what's going on. You can go to online libraries. There's tons of that going on around too. So, I think society is starting. It's starting to. I hate to say this, but a lot of the traffic on the internet nowadays revolves around pornography and social media, and I'm not joking. And a lot of people don't understand that they have the world's largest library at their fingertips, and social media is not necessarily the best official place to find out information. It does in a lot of cases, but in other cases there are not. So I think you know what I'm talking about, AK.
Yeah. Also, there's legitimate information that's being wiped off the internet.
Yeah.
All and every day. The archive.org, they have admitted to wiping information now, and they're also now putting fact checks on why they deleted the information.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
but last topic here. Last topic, real quick. Bitcoin is still going up.
Yeah, 18,000.
18,000. Didn't I say it was going for all-time high and above? Once we hit 20K, you know what it's going to do, right? It's going to go straight, and I do mean straight, to 50K, 60K within a matter of a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is not stock investment advice.
All right.
Well,
we got yeah. Alamo, you want to lead us out?
With the anonymous PSA.
Yeah.
Yes. Make sure you spay and neuter all your politicians.
And we'll roll out.
I hereby hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled